Here we go. Hey, I mean it. All right, Harrison, I'm talking. Come on, get a seat. Let's go. Some of you guys gotta understand when I'm talking, I mean it. All right, there's a lot to do. I want to make sure I get through everything. All right, I want to help you as much as I can. We got a short day today. All right, so first and foremost, does anybody have any questions of what we did yesterday? All right, so today there's not much more here. What?
Can I see number 18?
What do you mean?
Can you do it?
Well, it's just a matter of the radius is 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to estimate what the square root of 14 is. You know that 5 halves is 2.5, right?
Yeah.
So you would just, you know what the center is? The center is negative 5 over 2 comma radical 14 with a radius that's equal to 3. And the square root of 14 is just close to 4. I'd probably say like 3.8. All right, somewhere around there. All right, is that good? Nothing exact, right? Nothing exact. All right. Anybody else? All right, here we go. Now, use the information provided to write the standard form of the circle. So let's go ahead and just practice number 1 here. All right, so again, the most important thing is, again, remember to write the x's and the y's together. So see if this makes sense. I have x squared plus 8x, leave a space, plus y squared minus 2y, leave a space, equals 64. Anybody have any questions with that? Any issues? All right, so now you complete the square. Half and square, so that's going to be what? Plus 16. Plus 16. Half and square. Plus 1. Plus 1. So now it always factors to whatever the half was. What was the half? Positive 4 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 81. So if I asked you about that, you would simply tell me the center of the circle is at what? Negative 4, 1, and the radius would be 9. Simple. All right, let's check out number 3. Again, x squared plus 14x, leave a spot, y squared minus 12y, leave a spot, equals negative 4. Half and square, what do we have?
49.
Plus 49 plus 49. Half and square, thank you, plus 36 plus 36. So now what do we have? X plus 7 squared plus y minus 6 squared equals, is that 81 again? 81 or 82? 81?
81.
81. So again, if I ask you what the center was, you could say the center is, and the radius is 9. All right, everybody do number 5 real quick. Chop, chop. Yes, ma'am.
How did you get like 49 and 36 again?
Remember, we say it's half and
is that
square.
the B over
Yes, b over 2 squared. Take half of b and then square it. That's how you get that number. All right, that's the little formula. And then as soon as you have the answer to number 5, I just want someone to tell me what it is. Yeah, 81 again is what I got. But what is the equation? I want the whole equation. X plus 1 squared plus equals 81. Everybody okay? Any issues? That's not that bad. All right, and again, believe it or not, that's pretty hard. All right. Anybody need any help? All right, let's move forward. All right. Now they just give you the center, so you have to write it in the format. So who's going to tell me that? Go ahead.
X plus 11 squared plus y plus 8 squared equals 16.
Simple, simple. Everybody good? All right, listen, we haven't done the transformations yet. All right, so I don't really care about 9. I don't really care about 10. It's not that it's that hard. It's just one more thing to memorize, and I don't care about memorizing. All right, so we're going to leave that alone. All right, so now you have to look and try to find the center. All right, everybody's got to try to find the center. Someone's saying something. I don't remember. What was it?
0.3.
Is everybody okay with it being 0.3? All right, so 0.3 is the center. And then it looks to me like the radius is what? Radius is again, tell me.
6.
I think it's 3, right? Now again, the most important thing is to plot 3, or plot your center, which we said was 0.3, and then you're just measuring here, or you're measuring down to here. Right?
6.
3.
It's 3.
One, each square is a half.
Thank you.
Oh.
He's right.
How is it 6?
How would it be 6, guys? If you just add 3 from 3, then it's 6.
Right. That's what I'm thinking is. I'm looking at this saying that's a 3 and this is a 6. I don't care how many lines are between 3 and 6. The distance from 3 to 6 is still 3. All right. So now let's write the equation for number 11. Go. I'm listening. The equation. At what?
X plus 0.
All right, so we're bigger than that. So we can just write
X squared.
x squared. You're right, but continue. Plus. Come on, Alonzo, go. All right, would somebody repeat that, please? I didn't hear what she said.
5 minus 3 squared equals 9.
Wow, thank you. All right, here we go. Moving on. Uh-oh, here we go. Now, here is the diameter. There is the diameter. All right, so I need to find the center, which is a common problem. All right, so somebody tell me what the center is.
4 negative 8.
What?
9.
What?
What?
What are you talking about? Someone else with a better thought than Charlotte. Someone else. And somebody said negative 18, negative 9. Right? So remember, all right, the center is the midpoint. All right? Or we say it's just the average. All right? So you add negative 17, negative 19, divide by 2, and negative 9 plus negative 9 divided by 2. So again, the center is the midpoint of the diameter. Everybody okay with that? All right. So now we have the center is negative 18, negative 9. So now we're going to write the first half, which is
X plus 18 squared plus y plus 9 squared.
now we're in trouble because we have to figure out what the radius is. All right. So to figure out what the radius is, we're going from the center to the point. Right? So we have to picture from negative 18, negative 9 to negative 19, negative 9. I've moved what? 1 unit. So the radius is in fact 1. So 1 squared is still what? 1. Beautiful. Exactly. All right, anybody got a question with that? All right, now I need some help on number 15. Shh, 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 shh. Think about it for a second. These are all very good SAT questions. I want you to write the equation of the circle that has a center of negative 15, 3 radical 7 with an area of 2 pi. You ready? Go.
I got x plus 15 squared plus x plus 3 radical 7.
Wait a minute. X plus 15 squared plus what?
Plus x plus 3 radical 7.
Now, I know you meant y, not x.
Sorry, y. I'm sorry.
And now remember, it's going to be plus or minus.
Plus 3 radical 7.
No, because we're going back in, right? Yeah, because look what you did here,
Oh, I see.
right? So it's going to be y minus 3 radical 7. Now the hard part I need to equals 2. Now, why is it that? Because the formula for area of a circle is pi r squared, and the area is 2 pi. Everybody agree with that? So then if I divide by pi, what is r squared? No, I asked you what r squared is 2, right? Do I really care what r is? No, because in our equation, now this is what I'm trying to remind you, just to be a little smarter. In the equation, I'm interested in what? R squared. Now, if you took the square root, you would say the radius was the square root of 2, right? But then when you plug it back into the equation, you're just going to have to do what? Square it back. All right, so I want you to keep in mind, this part of the formula deals with r squared. All right? Come on now. These are the important ones, okay? Anybody can just do the translation. These are a little bit more thinking. All right? So here we go. We're on 17. All right, I want you to think about it for a minute. Not for a minute. Gavin is ready. Go.
X plus 5 squared plus y minus 12 squared equals 16.
You are amazing. How did you know it was 16?
Because circumference is radius times 2.
That's right. Times pi. Or pi times the diameter. Right? Is everybody okay with that? Circumference, again, for those of you guys who are staring like, what are you talking about? All right? Circumference is pi times the diameter, or circumference is 2 pi r. All right? If the circumference is 8 pi, that made the radius 4. Does everybody agree? And then 4 squared is 16. Now remember, these are the types of things I'm trying to tell you. I can't help you if all you're doing is writing down my answers and you're not thinking for yourself and you're not saying whether or not you truly understand that. That's where I think some of you are making a mistake. Getting the work done to get it done is not what I'm asking. I need you to be able to do number 17. Anybody have any questions? All right, let's check out 19 now. This one's a little bit harder. I'm ready.
X minus 2 squared plus y plus y plus 5 squared.
Now, we're going to say equals r squared for now, because we don't know what r is, right? So somebody said something, we can find the what? You can use the distance formula, or we can do something even easier than that. What could we do?
You know the point on the circle, so the point on the circle to the center is going to be the radius.
Yes, but what's the quickest way to do that? Because I wish everyone in here would be able to just say that is, you can do the mental math here. What could I do?
Well, if you go from the center to the point on the circle, you went negative 9x spaces, right? And then if you go from, and that's plus 4
Right.
spaces.
Exactly. So that's one way of thinking about it. But let me help you real quick. Simple. Look right here, guys. If this point is on the graph, if I plug that point into the equation, that will satisfy the equations. Everybody agree with me? So I can just plug this in for what? X, and this in for what? So if I plug that in for X, which is what you were doing, negative 7 minus 2 is what? Negative 9 squared is plus, if I plug -1 in for y, 4 squared is 16 equals r squared. So what does r squared equal? Watch me now. I'm not asking for r, remember? Now why do I not care what r is? Because in my equation, watch what's disappearing. I'm interested in r squared, right? So r squared is just what?
27.
And there's my answer. That is my answer right there. All right, now that was pretty tricky. That's pretty standard on an SAT question. All right, if they give you a point that's on a graph, the easiest thing to do is just do what? Plug it in and figure out what r squared is. Everybody okay with that? If I did the distance formula, would I get the same exact answer? Yes, exactly. All right. All right, now this is the one that's kind of hard. So let's write the first half, just so you can get partial credit. I'm listening. X plus 15 squared. Uh-oh, now we have a problem. So if the circle is tangent to x equals -17, what's the radius? Nobody? Yes, brilliant. How did you know that? Exactly correct. Tell us how you knew that.
Like the tangent is where like the edge is circled.
That's right. It just means where it touches, right? So I was going to do the whole graph, but here, just to show you, this right here, please watch, that is the center of the circle. Does everybody agree with that? And that point is -15, 9. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle, all right, that is tangent to x equals -17. So x equals -17 would be this line right here. All right. Now again, it's just a great visual problem. I'm not even asking you to understand how to do it mathematically. I'm just saying that's what you should visualize, correct? Come on now. Does everybody understand that's what that means? There's a vertical line, x equals -17. The circle is tangent to that point. That means it touches at this point right here. And if it touches it at that point there, then this is the what? That's the radius. So now the question is, this is that is -15, 9. So how far away am I from that line? 2 units. So my answer is y minus 9 squared equals what, someone? 4. Perfect. Come on now. Remember, it's the same thing I just said a few minutes ago. You can't learn it if you're just writing it down. All right? You've got to work with me. Okay. Let me see who can figure out 23. All right, think about it, please. And on this case, if you have to draw it, it wouldn't be a bad idea. All right, I'm hearing.
Yeah, I do feel like the
No, I just want you to tell me the answer.
Well,
Yeah, draw it out. Draw it out and tell me. I want the answer. I want you to tell me how to do it. Come on, everyone else, try. Please try. You're not getting smarter if you just wait for me to tell you. All right, I'm asking you, draw an x and y axis. Draw the line x equals 7. Draw the line x equals -13. You might surprise yourself. Right? You can figure it out. But if you don't try, you can't. For sure. You should draw everything out. Come on, someone else. Someone who doesn't usually speak. Speak up. Give it a shot. What are you thinking, Dalton? Give it a shot, man. It doesn't matter. Shh. I'm not arguing with you. I want the equation, though. So you told me that r is equal to what? R is it? So you think R equals 20, so I'm okay with that. Anything else you got figured out? Come on, Gavin. Come on, Carson. I shouldn't have to walk around the room and see what you're writing down on your iPad now.
Yeah, the first part of the equation is x plus 3 squared.
X plus 3 squared. That's it? That's all you got.
That's all I got.
Charlotte, thank you.
Plus y squared.
Plus y squared. That's what your contribution is?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And then you're thinking the contribution is 400 here, right? All right, anybody want to give me something correct?
I thought r squared was
You think r squared was 9, which means in the equation this should be what?
-3.
Okay, I'll put -3 there. We'll go with that. Go.
R squared is 100.
Oh, so now you're laughing at him saying just to cross that, I'll put 100 there. Tell me. Tell me something. Yes, me. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you now, what I'm asking you is this. Can you tell me, everybody should be able to tell me on their paper, they drew x equals 7 and they drew x equals -13. If you didn't do that, then you made a huge mistake. You have to draw those out. There's no way you can do the problem. All right, so I'm suggesting this whole problem should be done on a piece of graph paper. So here we go. Now it says it's tangent to x equals 7. So I came over here. I'm going to draw x equals 7. So that is close enough to what there? What is that? Hello? What is that yellow line? 7. X equals 7. Now I'm going to draw another one at what? -13. All right, so I'm smart enough now to put -13 over here. Everybody agree with that? So come on. If it's tangent, all right? So what that means is, I'm going to try to eyeball this and see if I can do it. That means if I draw the circle, not so good. If I draw the circle and I go here and I say, okay, of course, that's perfect. Come on, everybody should be able to do that. That's the circle. I have no idea anything else, but that's the circle. Does everybody agree? It's tangent to 7 and -13. Now it says that the circle, the center lies what? On the what? So I have no idea where that's at, but I'm going to eyeball it. And I'm going to say, to me, that looks like the center of the circle, right about there. I don't think that's that hard. I think everybody should be able to draw 2 vertical lines and draw a circle between those 2 vertical lines. Now, some of you might say, well, I didn't know what a x equals 7 was. Or I didn't know what x equals -13 is. All right? Those are just vertical lines. Just like if I said y equals, you would tell me that's a what? Horizontal line. All right? Everybody good? That's what your picture should be. So now, in order to write the equation, the only way I'm going to be able to write the equation is I have to know what that point is. And what's the coordinate of that point? -3 what? Come on, I don't think that's that hard. -3, 0. I just don't think that's that too hard for you guys. All right, so now you ready to write the right equation?
So x plus 3 squared plus y squared equals.
Yep, you guys were pretty good, man. That's pretty good. All right, put our heads together. We thank Charlotte for her contribution of y squared. Whoever said x plus 3 squared, you can pat yourself on the back. And whoever's finally said 100, you can pat yourself on the back. Now, let's talk.
I still don't get how you're getting.
Okay, so what we need is the radius, true? So now watch me. Good for you, kiddo. Watch this. So I'm going to make this here. I'm going to make it a little bigger so we can see it better for you. So I'm trying to find the radius. Now what I need you to tell me is you agree because that's the center, that would be the radius. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So this x value right here is -3. This value is 7. So from -3 to 7 is 10 units.
Oh, okay.
Right?
10 times.
That's right. Because it's the radius squared in the equation. Everybody happy with that? Listen, again, I don't think it's that hard. I think it's hard because you have to do a little bit extra thinking. All right? All right, but again, I really don't think that's that hard. These are definitely thinking questions. All right, you got to do a good job. And again, it's not going to do any good if I'm just feeding you the information. All right, so now your job tonight is to do what? Finish. And then turn it in. All right, if you're doing it on paper, I'll collect it tomorrow. If you did all this work on the iPad, as soon as you're done, just do what? Turn it in. All right, turn it in. I want to see the work. I don't want to just see the answers. I'm providing you with answers. All right. I also think for those of you guys who want to do a good job, if I'm not mistaken, did I post the review on Classroom already? Yeah, I posted the review for a reason. Our test is next Wednesday. We don't have school Friday, so you might be doing nothing Friday, Saturday, Sunday for those of you guys who need to do a good job. Not mentioning names. All right, you got all weekend long to start that review. And I think if I'm not mistaken, the review is like 80 problems. All right, so you need to get some work done. All right, you need to practice. All right, the rules are simple. All right, the rules are simple. There's just what? A lot of rules. All right, you need to practice because they're all going to be on one test. All right, good job. Finish up, please. And like I said, turn it in whenever you're done. All right, and I'm just going to grade it, and then on Monday, we're going to start the review.